Welcome to the Mind versus Action journey, where every week I will share experiences, thoughts, and ideas on how you can go from thoughts in your mind to actually taking actions. Life is not formed by just what is in our mind, but by actually taking action on what is in our mind. It is not enough to simply hope, think, and wish. We must take action. I believe that people behave in congruence with how they feel inside of themselves. I read a post once that was shared by a person who society has deemed as the ugliest woman alive. She had shared a picture of herself and captioned it by saying how happy she was. Most of the comments were very positive, but of course, there was the one where a person wrote, "This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen." The woman took it well and allowed her post by basically saying that in a world where there is so much hatred, choose to focus on the good, even though we are conditioned to focus on the bad. I love her response. But it is sad that there are people so shallow out there that would attack someone as kind as this woman without even knowing her. This brought me to write on this subject, as this is something I have always believed. I believe that people behave in congruence with how they feel inside of themselves. I say this because I have never met a person that is truly happy with themselves and puts down another person. But I have met hundreds that all they do is try to put down other people or try and always look for the bad in people. And when I take a deeper look into who these individuals are, a quick pattern emerges in which it's clear they live miserable lives, and so they go on living trying to hijack others in order to feel better about themselves, as if that actually worked. It doesn't. I believe that as humans, we are conditioned through evolution to focus on the bad, since thousands of years ago, this is how we survived. Our species did not come to where we are today by always being positive, but rather being pessimistic to the world that was then, in which we could easily be eaten by a lion or killed by another tribe. The thing is that we don't live in that world anymore, and we have not for hundreds of years. Yes, the threat of getting killed by another human being is real and very much alive, but not to the degree in which we must live life in a pessimistic mode. The reason I believe we live in pessimism today is not because of survival, but because we live in a way that simply is not sustainable or reachable. We live in a way where we put more importance on material things and on what others think of us, which in return makes people always live in a state of sadness, depression, and aggression. This state of living has a natural progression of living out how we feel inside, and we see this every day in our news, roads, families, friends, spouses, people we come in contact with, and in the most valuable resource we have as humans, our children. I believe in my optimistic, crazy mind that even with all these people living in a state of pessimism, we still have more good people than bad. We still have more good people that are truly happy and live their lives by how they feel inside. I know this because we also hear about and read about the amount of kind things that so many people do at a small and large scale to help others. I know this because I see a kid offering to play with another kid that simply hardly knows. I know this because I still see a person buy another stranger a drink at a bar for no reason, just because it was a moment of celebration, and so why not? I know this because you hear what some incredible people like Bill Gates are doing at a large scale to make our world better, when he can easily be consumed on making more money for himself, like so many other wealthy folks are. Gates chooses to focus his genius not on creating more wealth, but rather on how to spend his wealth in a way to eradicate misery and move our human race forward. We can all do our share of moving our race forward. It starts with us individually. It starts with first building our core being to focus on the good, to create good, to do good. As bad as life might get sometimes, there is always a reason to feel good and to keep fighting. The truth is that if we really analyze why we feel how we feel, physically or mentally, it is self-imposed by the actions that we take each and every day. But I know that if we as individuals started taking the right actions and decisions that would make our individual lives better, it would have a ripple effect, a good positive ripple effect. We will start living in what I call happy mode. And when we live in this mode, truly nothing bad can come from our actions. This again starts at the individual level. For me, what works is to always focus on the good when bad things happen. Focus on the solution versus the problem. Focus on the good qualities a person has rather than the bad. Focus on the good things a person has done to you rather than the one bad action. And most importantly, simply live in a constant state of gratitude for all you have. And of course, cut out toxic people from your life. I have learned that not everyone is ready to make the commitment followed by action to be happy. I say this because everyone, I believe, truly wants to be happy, but most are simply not willing to fully commit and take real action to be happy. In a world filled with human made and nature made tragedy, choose to focus on the good, to do good. The rest will always follow. Please subscribe to my blog, podcast, or YouTube channel to get notifications when my weekly entry is posted. I promise I will never disappoint. Thank you. Until next time, I challenge you to own your thoughts, actions, process, results, and ultimately your life story. Most importantly, I challenge you to go from thoughts in your mind to taking actual actions on those thoughts, as nothing happens until actions are taken.